Hey everyone, how's it going today? And welcome to a brand new episode, and also huge welcome to 2026 because it is so crazy that we are starting a brand new year together. So huge happy new year. Although today's video is going to be relevant for most of 2026, so even if you're watching this on a later date, because in today's episode, what I really want to talk about is really about our economy, but specifically about investing in general and about where I see the markets and everything in our overall economy headed to in 2026. Now, there is a very big difference because I think it's so important to note as we're starting this video is that you can have a very great stock market, investment market, and everything in that world, but still have a pretty terrible economy actually. The most perfect example is probably what happened in 2020. Although we're going to be comparing the differences between 2020 and today, because the big idea is that in today's video, what I really want to do is just to give my own predictions and explain a little bit about where I see this market, this investment market. So everything from stocks to crypto to assets to metals, where I see our economy headed throughout 2026, why I see it headed that way, and then all of the important information so you can get an overall picture of what's going on in our country right now. So with that being said, let's just get right to this video. But as always, if you guys enjoy videos like this, you guys know the same drill. If you guys want to share some support, consider liking, subscribing, and feel free to leave any comments down below at any time about maybe your predictions at all, about where you think our economy is headed. So with that being said, let's get started. So when it comes to talking a little bit about my predictions about where I see our overall economy headed throughout 2026, is that when it comes to the world of just investing in general, I believe that we are going to, at least my prediction is that we are going to see a lot of volatility inside of our markets this year, specifically, especially in the stock market, but you can really apply this to other areas as well. So from the stock market to the crypto market, to asset prices, to bonds, to even things such as like metals, so gold, silver, and aluminum are everything in that world. And the reasoning why, we're going to get to the reasoning why, is because the big idea is that there are so many events happening in our country this year, or that are expected to happen this year, that is going to lead the stock market and our investments to kind of go upwards. Now, this does not necessarily mean that I see our overall economy as doing very good this year. And I think there's a very big distinction, and it's so important to maybe make this distinction noted, is that it's because you can have a situation where the stock market, and I'm just using this as an example, but yes, the stock market can be doing incredibly well in a particular year, but you can see the overall economy suffer and go through a massive downfall. If this sounds a little bit confusing, probably the most prominent example that we have is what happened in 2020. Essentially, if you guys remember back in 2020 during the pandemic, we also saw a situation where a lot of asset prices, like things in the stock market, do incredibly well. And we're going to explain why in a little bit about how this is going to be related to 2026. But at the same time, while that was true, we also saw the economy suffer very drastically in 2020. People were getting laid off, jobs were getting cut, things were just happening all over the place, the economy was still, nobody was moving, businesses were suffering, and so many things were happening that particular year. So the bottom line is that you can also have something which is really called a K-shaped recovery, where essentially there is going to be a population of people in our country that are actually going to be doing pretty well, because of so many things going back. Like, for example, because stocks are expected to rise, that, maybe if they're very heavily invested in the stock market, then yes, they are going to be benefiting from this. And there's going to be a lot of people that can make a lot of money during this time period. But at the same time, you can also see a lot of people that are on the lower side of the K, which basically means that on the K-shaped recovery situation, you are going to see some people, hence the shape of the K, doing incredibly well, but then you're also going to see a population of people that are actually suffering, that are going to be going downhill, and it's going to be going through a really difficult time because of all sorts of reasons, such as like with the job market. Now, I do want to make a video, because I know this video is mainly focused on investing. I do want to make a video in the future, maybe talking a little bit about where I see the job market headed in 2026. So maybe if that is of interest, maybe drop a comment down below, or consider subscribing as well so that you guys can get notified if that video ever does come out. But when it comes to focusing on the investment market, so for example, things like stocks, crypto, metals, assets, bonds, everything in that world, it is expected that prices will probably rise. And this goes on to maybe talking about my reasonings why, is that the first thing we have to talk about is really going to be about money printing. This is a very, very straightforward answer, but essentially what's going on is that if they print more money, money becomes cheaper, and if money becomes cheaper, essentially all that money is going to be flowing into assets, and that is going to drive asset prices upwards. The correct term for this is really called quantitative easing. That's really the technically the real term, what's going on. But essentially for the last several years up until recently, we had a situation, I believe this started in about June of 2022, where essentially the our government started to suck money out of the economy. Essentially they were trying to take things away in order to control inflation. What is going on right now, especially specifically as of December of 2025, so very, very recently, if you're watching this on release date just 1 month after 1 month ago, we had a situation where they officially announced that they're going to be doing quantitative easing, which is essentially where they're going to be printing a lot of money. And if they end up printing a lot of money, that money has to flow somewhere, and one of the places it's going to flow is into our assets. It's going to increase liquidity, which basically means more movement in the market. And so what's going to ultimately happen is that the price of assets, so things like stocks, crypto, bonds, metals, everything in that world, is going to be driven upwards even further. And that's the big first point that I want to make. The second point I really want to make is talking about inflation. Now, at this current time period, it is expected, and that's why I say it's a little bit of a K-shaped situation, because some people will benefit and some people will actually maybe go through a difficulty because of this situation. But it really comes down to the inflation situation. So one not so good news is that it is also expected that inflation is probably going to go up even further. Things are about to get even more expensive than they already are, and we've already experienced over the last couple of years. But at this point in time, I think what's the logic and mentality behind what's going on with our Fed is that they've essentially just accepted this as the new norm. They've accepted this as the reality that very likely what's going to happen is that, yes, inflation and things will start to go up again, but it's just one of those things where there just is not a further solution. They just have to accept this as the new norm about what's going on, is that things are just naturally going to get even more expensive than they already are. So that's really the point I want to make about inflation and about my predictions for inflation and how this is going to impact everything. Now, moving on to talk about the next thing that I really want to talk about why I believe that the stock market is going to go up is going to be the situation with interest rates. So if you guys remember before the Fed pivot, back throughout most of the early 2020s, minus the first 2 years, because we know obviously what happened with the pandemic in 2020 and then 2021 and then 2022. But since they pivoted, what ended up happening is that, as you see, and this is something that you can just see from history, when interest rates rise, asset prices struggle because it's harder to borrow money. When interest rates go down, then asset prices tend to increase because it becomes easier to borrow money. So the logic behind this one is that because they are expected right now, and you probably already know if you've been following a lot of finance channels, that they're planning to decrease interest rates. They're planning to cut interest rates. If they end up ultimately cutting interest rates, which we already are seeing that they're already doing, what's going to happen is that it's going to make money easier to borrow. If money is easier to borrow, the good news is that it means that money is easier to borrow, which basically ultimately means is that it's going to be easier to be able to get money and take that money to do things with it, and this includes investing. The bad news is that inflation is going to go up. And we've already obviously established that. But the idea is that at least for the stock market, the investment, the crypto, the metals, bonds, and everything in that world, at least it is expected that things will go up. And I think because of that reason, my specific investment plan right now, and I think, again, this is the part that I think you guys are probably waiting for, is that because of so many things that are expected to happen, I think that the best investment plan is that if you do have money on the side, this would be an incredible time to start to put money inside of the market, to put it inside of the stock market. Now, if you are someone that's, unfortunately, but the reality is that it's going through a difficult time right now financially, because you might not necessarily have the money to invest, then it might be time to be very defensive about life, defensive about your finances. It means that this is probably the time that you're going to be even more important than ever to protect whatever you have, because things are about to get even more expensive. And because if things ultimately get more expensive, then money's not going to go as far, as it once did. So as a result, I think it's going to be even more important than ever that for people that might be tight on finances to be more defensive than ever, but that for people that do hopefully have some level of money to spare, to now take that money and invest it, because this is going to be a very, very good market, at least in the world of investing. And I think that's the part that's really important to really absorb. Now, the rest of this video is I want to talk about some historical stuff that's expected to happen. So these are things that are not necessarily statistics, but these are things that are expected to happen historically, which is really about President Trump. At the very, very end of the day, it's also expected that because President Trump, one thing that you have to note about him is that he values a lot of the things about the success of his campaign in correlation to the success of the stock market. So why this is relevant is that because knowing President Trump, and this is just something you can see from his past years as the president, is that he will do everything in his power to make sure stocks do well. He might bluff sometimes, and I totally get it there, because someone is going to bring this up, I know, is that he might bluff sometimes and do things such as tariffs, which will ultimately tank the stock market. But long term, I really do believe that one thing about President Trump is that he's going to do everything in his power long term, keyword is long term, to make sure the stock market does very, very well. We saw this happen throughout from his first campaign in 2016 to 2020, and we are seeing this so far for most of his campaign this year and last year even. What happened? Again, there are some times that he might announce oh yeah, we're gonna do tariffs, and that's gonna sink the stock market. But long term, I really do believe is that he's gonna do things in his power to make sure it doesn't fall. So even if we end up having some kind of tragic event like a pandemic happen again, which we hope not, let's hope not, but if let's say we do end up having a pandemic happen again, he's going to come in, the Feds are going to come in, and they're going to do whatever they can in their power to rescue the market. Which probably leads on to the last point I want to make, is really about the Federal Reserve. Long story short, in May of 2026, we are expected to have a brand new federal chair inside of office. That federal chair, we don't know who it is right now, but it is expected that obviously because Trump is in favor of cutting interest rates, letting inflation run, everything that we just talked about, that the new federal chair is probably going to be someone that has very similar viewpoints to President Donald Trump. If this really ends up being the case, then everything that I just mentioned is going to be even more true than ever. So the bottom line is that where I see our overall economy headed is that I do predict that we are going to see prices of things in the stock market and everything in that world go up. However, I don't necessarily see our economy getting better, at least in other areas. Things such as our job market, which I want to talk about in a future video. So again, hence maybe subscribing if that is of interest. Things such as unemployment, the job market, unemployment, helping people that are in financial need. That might be something that might be, important to talk about, is the wealth gap. It is expected that maybe the wealth gap is going to now potentially widen even further, hence the K-shaped recovery, where some people are going to go upwards, but sadly some people are going to be going through a difficult time because of inflation and everything happening. But I think, of course, all of this stuff, we just have to see what ultimately ends up happening in one of the future episodes of The Kevin Show. So with that being said, that's basically what I really wanted to cover in today's video. So if you guys found that relative hopefully insightful, maybe consider liking, subscribing, hitting the bell. Feel free to leave a comment with your predictions or any thoughts as well. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, stay safe, stay well, and hope to see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much again.